So when you were a kid, you might have biked to the corner store to rent an SNES game, grab a pack of candy, or drop off that Empire Strikes Back VHS you swore you rewound. I mean, it wasn't fancy, but it was freedom. A few bucks, a few blocks, and a feeling that your neighborhood had everything you needed within reach. Fast forward to today, and most of those little stores are gone, replaced by houses, condos, and chain stores you had to drive to. So kids today, they scroll Amazon instead of biking for snacks. I mean, packages pile up on porches instead of conversations piling up on sidewalks. But what if we could bring back the corner store? Not as nostalgia, but as infrastructure. A parcel hub, a small cafe, a place that keeps neighborhood life stitched together. Because right now, Toronto is debating whether families should even be allowed to have those again. So in this video, we're going to explore a few things. First, how a 1950s law erased the corner store from Toronto's map. Then we're going to look at what City Hall is, just voting on today. Then we'll talk about what neighborhood retail really means for families. Time, safety, independence, and most importantly, connection. And then why residents associations fought to stop it and why that resistance feels completely out of touch. And then finally, we're going to talk about the new rules that did pass and the blueprint that could still make it work for families. So stick with me because this story isn't just about zoning. It's about how the rhythm of family life depends on what's around the corner. So let's dive in. So back in 1959, Toronto passed a bylaw that sounded technical but changed everything. It banned new commercial uses inside residential zones. So that meant no new corner stores, no cafes tucked between houses, and no small service shops unless they already existed. So those that did were grandfathered in, but if they closed, the right to reopen vanished. So over time, hundreds disappeared. So city data shows that a 34% drop in local neighborhood retail from 1989 to 2019. So for kids, that meant fewer errands run on foot. For parents, more driving, and for neighborhoods, less life between the houses. So by the time the pandemic hit, many Torontonians realized how much they missed being able to walk for something simple. Walking for bread, or milk, or human contact. That's what set up the next act. So in late 2024, Toronto's planning department tried to fix this 66-year-old mistake. They actually proposed re-legalizing small-scale retail and services in neighborhoods. So the plan had two tiers. The first is major streets, so residential stretches on roads like Bathurst, Dufferin, Lansdowne, Roselawn, or Dovercourt. And then the second part of the plan was interior streets, so the classic corner store, corner lots tucked inside neighborhood fabric. So the second tier was really the heart of it, so true corner stores returning to quiet blocks. But in October of 2025, just last month, the Planning and Housing Committee, under pressure from residents associations, stripped that interior piece right out of the legislation. So by the time council is meeting today, mid-November 2025, the vote only covered the major streets part. Okay, so quick update. As I'm editing this video right now, I'm following along on X, and Matt Elliott, Graphic Matt, who does a great job of reporting on City Hall, is reporting right now that Mayor Olivia Chow actually has a motion, and it looks like she actually is reinserting the neighborhood corner stores into this debate. Now, it looks like it's only going to be for neighborhoods in Toronto and East York, so it looks like core neighborhoods. And then I'm just kind of going through because it's happening right now. Looks like Josh Matlow as well up in Midtown is adding his ward to it. So it looks like so far councillors Bravo, Perks, Malik, Fletcher, Moise, Sachs, Bradford, and are all going to be adding. Josh Matlow are all adding their wards to this as well. So it's looking like corner stores might be back on the table. Let's continue on with the video. Good to see that there's a little bit of hope at the end of this, and that there might be some corner stores coming to a street, downtown street, near you. So here's what gets lost in zoning debates. This isn't about coffee or croissants. It's about families' function. So here's 6 things that I think are important to consider. So the first is kids' independence. So a shop 3 blocks away lets a teen or a tween handle small errands, learn responsibility, and feel safe doing it. That's how independence starts, not at 16 behind a wheel, but at 10 with a couple dollars. Number 2 is porch pirate prevention. So every family ordering online knows the anxiety of a unguarded package. So a local parcel hub turns a security risk into a short walk. Number 3 is time saved equals sanity saved. So every 5-minute errand that doesn't require a car compounds into hours a week. So that's dinner at home and not drive-thrus. Number 4 is places that actually serve families. I mean, we don't need another 200-seat restaurant on the main strip. We need 5 tables, a place to park a stroller, and maybe a bookshelf. Number 5 is a boost for local entrepreneurs. So mom and pop stores can't afford main street rents. Neighborhood retail lets them serve the people they actually live beside. And then last but not least, coming in at number 6, homework and work from home overflow. So not every family has space for quiet work. Corner Cafe becomes a satellite office for parents, a study nook for teens, and a meeting spot for neighbors. So in short, I mean, this isn't nostalgia. It's infrastructure for family life. Now, as it goes with things in the city, opposition came fast and was familiar tones. It was the same complaints: noise, traffic, garbage, parking. People saying, we bought here for peace and quiet. I mean, is it valid? I mean, to a point, but many of these fears ignore how precisely this could be regulated. So, I mean, the city could set rules for hours. I mean, daytime only. They could ban alcohol or vape sales. You could limit size, restrict to corner lots, and set delivery windows. You could require indoor waste storage, even designate no parking zones in front of these businesses. That's smart regulation. But what we're doing instead, keeping a blanket ban, is like banning bicycles because someone ran a red light. And let's be honest, many of the loudest residents groups don't represent the families walking these streets every day. They're defending quiet, but not community. So we have to remember, regulate what matters and don't ban what works. So let's talk about what's actually moving forward. So councillors are debating this right now as I'm recording this. So that, in my opinion, hits the sweet spot. Quiet streets that stay quiet but alive. It's not about adding noise, it's about adding life. So what happens if we don't? What happens if we just let this be? So if we do nothing, nothing changes. We'll keep driving for the small things, and kids will keep losing independence. Local entrepreneurs will keep getting priced out, and our blocks will stay silent in the way that doesn't feel safe, empty, not alive. So let me break this all down. I'm not asking for nightlife 2 doors down. I'm asking for 5 tables, good coffee, and a clerk who knows your name. Shout out to Cheers. Because affordability isn't just about rent or mortgages. It's about the everyday costs that quietly drain a family budget. The second car you shouldn't need to own. The gas you burn on a 2-minute errand. Or the TTC fare just to go grab some milk. The monthly co-working membership you wouldn't need if there were a quiet space just around the corner. Those little expenses pile up just like debt. And they're symptoms of a city that forces families to travel for everything instead of letting them live locally. I mean, people fly to Paris or Barcelona and gush about the corner cafes, the bakeries, and the hum of life on every block. But then they come back home and fight to keep Toronto's core neighborhoods frozen in suburban stillness, as if cafe or convenience store is some kind of invasion. So now let's be real. The social contract of living in a city means you accept a little bit of noise, a delivery truck, a coffee grinder at 8 a.m., because that's the sound of life. That's the trade-off for being part of something alive, connected, and human. And honestly, it's time to push back on the idea that quiet equals quality. Cities that breathe, cities with small-scale retail, with rhythm, with chance encounters are the ones people fall in love with. They're the ones that feel worth staying in. If we want a Toronto that families can afford, not just in dollars, but in time, sanity, and soul, we have to stop designing like it's a suburb and start living like it's a city. Affordability isn't silence, it's access, proximity, and possibility. So, here's my ask. If you believe Toronto's families deserve livelier, walkable streets, let me know down in the comments. And if you disagree, tell me why. And then lastly, I just want to mention, the Toronto Regional Real Estate Board has already backed this concept publicly, and a lot of former city planners and current city planners also really back this concept. Small retail builds community value. This is one of those moments where small policy could reshape how families live. So let's not let fear of noise silence the hum of neighborhood life. So as always, I'm Josh. This is Under the Radar Real Estate. Follow, like, subscribe. Peace out.